How do you change the engine coolant in this thing? In this episode of Aston1936.com, I'm just going to give you a quick summary of how to change or flush the coolant in the V12 engine in my Aston Martin DB9. My car is a 2005, and in my entire ownership of it, I've never changed the coolant at all. So it got me thinking, how often should we do it? Aston actually says you should change your coolant every 5 years or 150,000 miles, so essentially every 5 years. I suspect there are many Astons out there like mine that have probably never had the coolant changed because it's just not spelled out clearly in the service intervals for the annual services. So if your car's like mine and you're interested in doing it, this is a pretty easy project. You could do it in a morning in the garage. And this video is just a quick summary of the steps, and then I'll have links to the detailed videos that show you the exact steps to follow. Now, we shouldn't just be using any old coolant. I have a complete video that'll be linked up here that tells you exactly which one, but in short, it's an OAT coolant, O-A-T. So let's get started. So the process starts by removing the under tray of the car. You're gonna have to get the car up off the ground to do that, obviously. Then we're gonna pull the drain plug. Now you gotta be ready for the mess that's coming next. 2.5 gallons of fluid is gonna spill out, come out all over underneath all these plastic trays. Once the deluge is ceased, you're going to go ahead and reinstall this drain plug, and then we're going to get ready to start putting in the coolant. So you need to get the proper coolant ready to go. Depends if you bought concentrated oat coolant or premixed oat coolant. We want a 50-50 premix of coolant and water. So if you bought the premixed version, you have nothing to do. You can just get right on with refilling it. If you've got the concentrate, you need to think about how you're going to get your 50-50 mix. So I have concentrated solution here, distilled water here. What I'm going to do is grab a jug, an empty one, and I'm going to fill 50% up with the concentrate and 50% up with the distilled water, and then I got my 50-50 premix. To refill the system, basically we're going to use the oat coolant. We're going to refill it while the engine's off and cold. We're going to top up the tank. Then we're going to put the cap back on, start the car up, let it run completely up to temperature. Then we're going to let it completely cool down again and check our fluid level and top it off and put the cap back on, and we're done. So with the system refilled, last thing you want to do is crawl underneath and make sure that the system isn't leaking. Check your drain plug. Then you can go ahead and put your under tray back on and move on. So up here you're going to find probably a link to the playlist that has all the detailed videos that show you how to select the right coolant, what your other coolant options might be, how to properly drain the entire system and reinstall the drain plug, and how to properly mix and refill the coolant. So I hope you enjoy videos like this. If you do, please go ahead and subscribe. Down here you'll probably find a link to one of my blog articles relating to the coolant system flush. And as always, I'd love to hear your comments. Please leave those down below. Thanks for watching.